Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's a wonderful July 17th, a Wednesday, Tuesday Fish Talk Live. We're getting ready to start out. We're super stoked about a bunch of cool things happening tonight. So share this out. Let's get this shared out to 100 people. Share it out to your favorite fish groups. Share it out to your own pages, to your personal profiles. Send it to your grandma, your mama, your aunts. Let's see if we can get 100 people on so we can start giving out some fish tonight. Ron and I are super good mood. We're super jazzed, super charged up for this show. We're excited. So we'll be starting here in just a minute or so. What's going on, everybody? We got Fish Talk Live going on tonight. Everyone, let's see if we can share this out. Get these shares up. I really want to see a large number of shares. See if you can share this out to your personal page. Share it out to some groups. We're all starting up right now. I'm sharing out my shares. Hey, everybody. It's Wednesday, July 17th. We have episode number 38 tonight on Fish Talk Live. We're super excited for the show tonight. We're looking forward to getting a bunch of people on. Go ahead and share this out. I can already see a few people on there. Ryan, Poppy, Chris Johnson. All right. Share this out. We're getting ready to start. All right, let's get this show on the road. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fish Talk Live. What's going on? Dave Gould here. Welcome to Fish Talk Live. It's Wednesday, July 17th. We've got an awesome show for you tonight. Just finishing up a couple things. Looks like everything is working out on the streaming server and all of that. Hey, if this is your first time to Fish Talk Live, what Fish Talk Live is a live multi-stream show, gamified show. We like to use some really cool gamified software. It's specifically set up for the Facebook community for Ron Cichled's Clubhouse, which is 3,000 plus strong, almost 3,100 people in that group. Awesome people. We're every week, we're a multi-stream show, so it's on YouTube. You'll find us on Periscope, Twitch. You'll also find us, I believe, on LinkedIn's Fish Talk Live page. We are also in our 38th episode with over 120,000 views. So every week I get to put the show together, put some cool stuff together, and I also get to announce our host. So our host is my good friend, Mr. Ron Demers. He's out of West Palm Beach, Florida. He's been breeding African cichlids, I think, for close to 26 years. It's either 26 or 28. I always get mixed up. He is also the guy behind Ron Cichled's Food. So Ron Cichled's Food is like this really amazing blend of just the right amount of nutrients, the proteins and the veggies and the minerals and all that good stuff. Very successful food right now. Very hot food. Lots of people using it. Lots of people talking about it, getting great results. So I call him the fish food chef. He's also obviously a lover of all cichlids, African cichlids in particular, a great husband and father. Here he is, Mr. Ron Demers. Let me unclick your microphone, and there he is. What's
Thanks,
up, Ron?
brother.
Yeah.
Thank you, brother. How are you tonight?
I'm doing great, bro.
That's awesome. I am too. Hey, fish friends. How are you guys? Been a whole week. I'm looking forward to talking to you all again tonight. Thank you, everybody, for your engagement on the clubhouse lately, and we're going to announce some winners tonight for the giveaway.
Yeah, the clubhouse has been going off, Ron. The really good content on the clubhouse lately.
Yeah, it's been a lot of engagement. A lot of members have been, helping out and answering questions. So I don't need to get as involved as I used to. There's a lot of good information out there. A lot of helpful people.
Yeah, I before the show every night, it's crazy. Like there's a ton of moving parts. Make sure this is there, and the whole time I was starting the show up, I was like, man, I feel naked. I didn't have my headphones on. Crazy. All right, so here we go. Hey,
Mindy just called me out. She said clean shaven. So yes, for those of you who are used to the beard,
it's gone.
It's gone. Because it's driving me crazy with this thing. So
yeah, I bet.
It's gone. 2 years. It's gone for now.
There you go. Hey, I'm still trying to pull up, so I can't see any of the chats. Why don't you do some shout-outs? Who's online with us right now, Ron?
Shout out to Matt Smith, Lori Venker, Thomas Mack, our moderators, James Smith, and Tasha Dunn, Rebecca Dunn, Joshua Glaude, Rob DeFries, Missy Straight, James Smith, Jeff Pittman, Pammy Bennett is on again. Good to see you, Pam. Chip Mason, Kevin Miser, Mindy, Joe Venker, Jair. He just got some fish today. Robert Jones, Robert Reed,
what's up?
Walt Leonard. Got a whole bunch of peeps on.
What's up, Walt? Robert Reed, what's going on? I'm also looking for a special shout out to both Robert Reed, but also my buddy Brent in Montgomery, Alabama, who came down and picked up a bunch of fish for me. So if you guys don't know or haven't heard, Dave is moving home. I'm not originally from Alabama. I'm going back to California, and that's going to be at the end of September, first week in October. So, one of the things about it, and it's really bothering me because I'm kind of softy when it comes to fish. Some people are rough and tough. Okay, we get new fish, whatever. But I get really attached to my fish. But it's
emotional.
Yeah, I started that process of finding new homes for them and stuff. And anyway, so speaking of shout outs, I told you about our new friend and our admirer. Mm-hmm. This is a special shout out to the little girl in Satsuma, Alabama. Her name is Mackenzie Reed, and she's an awesome fan of FishTalk Live. Her and her sister, Shayla. So I just want to give you a big shout out, Mackenzie. What's going on, girl? I'm glad you watched the show.
Shout out from Ron, guys.
Yeah. So
I heard you were looking for me at Dave's house.
Yeah. So she's like, you're the guy from. They came over to the house. You're the guy from FishTalk Live. I didn't know you were real. And it's like, where's Ron at? Anyway, it was really cute.
She said she was looking through the house for me.
Yeah. So anyhow,
how old was she? She was like 5 or 6.
I'd say 4 or 5. I mean, Robert's online, so he can tell us how old she is. But anyway, really cute girl, and they're coming over this weekend as well. Picking up Oski, so they're going to get the 10-inch Oscar, my 10-inch Oscar as well. So anyway, but a big shout out to her. Awesome. It was, my 1 minute of fame. She's like, wow. She's like, I didn't know you were real.
Kids are so cute.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of shout outs, let me do this because I know Paul's been ramping up. Did you see Paul online? Anyway, big shout out to our friend Paul Weiser. Paul Weiser is in charge of the New England Cichlid Association, which is an association of approximately 200 members nationwide. This year, they are the host club for the American Cichlid Association convention, which is held in Cromwell, Connecticut, July 18th through the 22nd. So that's only just a couple of days from now, or it's tomorrow, as it starts tomorrow. If you want to check them out, feel free to go through the process, register and all that. I'm sure they probably have on-site registration, but I don't know for sure. You'd have to check with them. It's Paul Weiser. Speaking at the conference this year is Jim Cummings, Dr. Les Kaufman, Oliver Lukinas, Dr. Wayne Leibel, Dr. Adrian Indemeyer, Dr. Paul Lassois, Larry Johnson, and Lawrence Kent. They also have a 4,000 square foot vendor room, a biotope cichlid tanks competition, and they're having a party on Saturday night with a banquet, multiple auctions throughout the weekend. You can visit NE Cichlids, so Northeast NECichlids.org. You can also use our chat bot. So if this is your first time on the show or you haven't done this, we have some powerful software that helps us run the show. One of them is a chat bot. We like to call it information service. So I don't want people to freak out about the word bot anymore. It's just not. There's so much cool stuff. And if you are subscribed either to Ron Cichlids or FishTalk Live, you get messages that either give you helpful hints that like, hey, we're giving stuff away, or here's a sale that you might want to know. But there's never any spam. We're not doing it just to do that.
And one of the main reasons why we're doing this is a couple reasons. One is I hear a lot of times, I missed out on a fish, or I missed out on a raffle. They didn't know. You guys have busy lives, and we're not expecting you to be on Facebook every 10 minutes. And when do you get a new fish list? It's already 4 days old. So we've got the bot in place basically to let you guys get reminders.
Yeah.
If and when you want them, and you can interact with them. So it's a very helpful tool. But like Dave said, if it gets too monotonous for you, then reach out to us. I mean, we don't want to make this uncomfortable by any means for you. We just want to keep you up to breast. We're answering y'all's questions basically. And this is one of the big questions we've been asked for the last several months, if not longer. And this is one of the solutions for that.
Yeah. And then the other thing is you guys don't see it on the back end, but just about every client that I work with that deals with selling fish online, you answer the same 5 questions over and over and over and over. And this really helps Ron not, have to put so much time into that. So anyway, it's actually really cool. We have a chatbot giveaway tonight, so that's a friendly reminder. We're also giving away several prizes on the 3,000 membership appreciation raffle, which is a free raffle, and all of that. Something I was going to do. Since we were talking about that, did we do all the shout outs? Yeah, we did the shout outs we needed to do. If you have any questions, or you can just send them directly to Ron through his Ron Cichlids Facebook page, or to the FishTalk Live page. We monitor both those. Since I'm here and we're talking about new stuff, what I'd really like to do, Ron, is I'd like to just share with everybody real quick some new stuff that's going on Ron's shop. Okay, so here's Ron's shop. Let's see if I can. Does that help? Does it help at all? I don't know if it does. Hold on. Bear with me. There we go. Okay. So we've installed some really cool stuff with notifications. So if you know what page notifications are, you can now have page notifications when, for instance, if a fish is out of stock, you can say notify me when it's in stock. This is a new feature, which is super cool. We've also added a wish list. So you see right here, there is a wish list on the side, which will keep track of fish. So sometimes you don't want to have to search out that fish. If you're looking at a fish, you can drop it in the wish list. Some of the other things that have been really cool is some SMS integration, so that when you do purchase something, it lets you know when the payment goes through, gives you a text message. Also sends you out shipping information. So when the item is shipped, tracking information can be sent directly to your phone via SMS. And there's
really cool. I've been seeing it work the last few days. I appreciate that. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Customers are being told it's shipped. Here's your tracking number. It's out for delivery. Yeah. And then when it's delivered,
Yeah.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
did a good job on that, my friend. I appreciate that.
Yeah. No problem. So,
You
you
do
know,
a good job on everything.
well, we're always looking to find the tools that can best serve your customers and clients, and that's basically what this is. So we found the push notifications. Don't be afraid of that stuff. These are things that are tools that we put together for you to make your experience better with Ron cichlids and buying fish. And, you know, we kind of wanted to do things that were different. Anyways, so that was that. I've got this interesting little video to break it up before we start our topic tonight, Ron.
Unfortunately, this small Japanese pufferfish is dull, almost to the point of invisibility. But to compensate, he is probably nature's greatest artist. To grab a female's attention, he creates something that almost defies belief. His only tools are his fins. In his head, a plan of mathematical perfection. He plows the sand, breaking it up into the finest of particles. These shells aren't just rubbish to be removed. He uses them to decorate the ridges of his construction. He can't rest for more than a moment, but must work 24 hours a day for a week, or the current will destroy his creation. A final tidy up, and his masterpiece is complete. Nowhere else in nature does an animal construct something as complex and perfect as this. If this doesn't get him noticed, nothing will.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool video on some puffers. Artists. It's just amazing to me sometimes, Ron, how that comes together. All right, everyone. All right, everyone. So I'm going to turn this on over to Mr. Ron. Ron tonight is talking about transporting fish. He's going to share his insights and knowledge on that. So I turn it over to you. You have the floor, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
So lately, a lot of people have been moving into new homes or are buying fish or from private sellers. And in this case, Dave is selling fish and he's got people coming to the house to get fish. And you always see somebody rehoming fish. And we're going to discuss tonight how to transport fish and how to reduce the stress and or injury related. This is something where it'll dabble into a couple other episodes that we've done before, like emergency equipment and other things. But this is something everybody needs to know. Just for the general fact, at some point in time, you are going to move or have to move a tank or break a tank down. So there's some stuff you should have, and it can double serve as your emergency equipment as well. So tonight we're going to discuss moving, like from one location to another, transporting fish from, let's say, a private seller, equipment that you should have on hand before you go to transport fish, and then last but not least, this is going to bring us right into shipping fish. Something that we need to spend a little time on. It's a question I get asked a lot, and we're going to discuss that. So first topic is, go ahead. Sorry. Yep. That's how we ended up deciding that should be the topic. This week is this is a question that's been coming up a lot lately, and we listen to you guys, and we move topics around, and this is something I've done hundreds and hundreds of times, so I don't even need to do any research. This is all just going to come right out of my skull, because I was in the Navy, and I moved from Florida to Texas to Tennessee. I moved all over the place, and don't be afraid to take your fish with you. It can be done. Recently, I had a customer come over, bring his flower horns to me, help me bag them up, brought them to the airport, had them shipped all the way to Arizona, and he arrived the next day. All the fish were good, 6 to 10 inch fish. So don't be too scared. So first topic is moving, like from one house to another location, not across town, but first topic is across town. I'm sorry, but depending on how far you're going, the quantity of fish, the size of the fish, and the amount of time it's going to take to, let's say, break down a tank and move fish across town will dictate what preparations you need to do. So this is going to be basically this topic here. This first one is basically going to talk about if you have to break down the tank and you have to move, and it's not, let's say it's not too far away. So some of this is going to overlap into each other, so I apologize for that, but it's it's important stuff that information needs to be driven home. So if you're going to move within, let's say the fish are going to be in transit for 4 to 8 hours, then you can use buckets with air pumps and air stones. You can use, totes. Make sure you've got, good tight sealing lids on the buckets. Later on, we're going to talk about the equipment that's needed, that you should have. If you know a day or 2, 3 days in advance that you are going to be putting the fish through this, then prepare your fish 1 day in advance. So if you're going to move 4 to 8 hours away, then don't feed the fish like the night before or that day. That's to keep the waste to a minimum, which will help the water be cleaner while they're in transport. So depending on the size of the fish, that will dictate how many buckets you need or storage totes. So you got to remember that when you put a fish in a close confinement with others, they do tend to be more aggressive. That's why I don't really put fish in buckets very much. Customers used to come to my house, get fish. They used to bring a bucket. You guys know who you are. Old school, man. You'd show up with a bucket and you'd put fish in the bucket and you'd go home. It's like you pick. But I bag everything individually now just because they don't get along very well. So if your fish are 4 to 6 inches, you can get away with putting 5 or 6 of them in a 5-gallon bucket. For those of you that don't necessarily, just keep your eyes open. I've said this before, but On the recycle day, garbage day, people throw out all the time those yellow cat litter buckets. They're square, they have a lid on them that closes. I use them religiously for making filters, moving fish. They've already got a lid on it, and the lid has a hinge on it, so you can keep it closed or you can open it up to catch fish. So if you see those, somebody's throwing them out, or you got a cat and that's the kind of litter that you want to get, those are awesome buckets. So if the fish are a little bit bigger than 6 inches, you're only going to be able to put 2 or 3 in a bucket, just because they're going to kick the crap out of each other if you try to jam them up in there. A nice dark bucket with a tight lid. If you need to use an air stone, and drill a small hole in the top of the lid, like a 1/4-inch hole, put the air line through there. They also have buckets at your local sporting goods store that are used for keeping bait fish alive. They usually come with a aerator, the air stone, the bucket, a handle, the whole 9 yards. All you got to do is put water in it. The smaller the fish are, the more you can put in that bucket. You can also use, plastic bags. Plastic bags aren't real popular. Most people don't have access to heavy duty plastic bags and oxygen. So it would be nice to have, but it's not necessarily something you're going to be able to get your hands on. Now, for those of you who get fish shipped from me or anywhere, you can take those bags. Don't cut them open. Just take the rubber band off, rinse them out really well, maybe a little bit of alcohol in there, and keep them in case you need them for a rainy day. Pretty easy. So next topic is a longer move. So let's say you have a longer move than within town, or 4 to 8 hours. Let's say it's 10 hours or more. Then you definitely need probably a tote. You need more buckets. You're definitely going to need an air stone and an air pump. If you're moving 4, 5, 6 hours, you can get away with not doing that. But if you're going longer, then yes, you definitely need that equipment. Again, don't feed your fish for at least 1 day, preferably 2. Clean out their system, so there's a lot less waste in there. If you're going to go that far, 10, 12, 14 hours, only put a couple fish in the bucket that are 4 to 6 inches. I would prefer you use, no, it's a bad way of saying it, but you're better off using a tote, like a black tote. Home Depot, Lowe's, they have them. They're 15 to 30 gallons. They have a pretty good lid on them, nice and dark. The fish kind of chill out. They rest, and you can put a power head or an air pump in there, and you can put 15, 20 fish in a tote. It's a lot cheaper at the end of the day to have a tote. Only put a couple fish, 1 to 2, in a 5-gallon bucket if they are over 6 inches. I would suggest, if you are going to make a long move like that, to get a DC to AC inverter. We've spoke about that on that emergency 911 episode. It is you plug it into your car 12-volt outlet, and it converts it to 110 house power. So you can use your existing, if you are moving, then you're going to be taking your power heads and your air pumps and your filters with you anyway. So you can hook those up to that tote and run it off of your AC inverter. You can get them $30-$40 on Amazon all day long, and it comes in handy for a lot of different things.
Let me make a comment here, Ron, just because it's going through my head. So you can buy inverters that run in your car that can go up to 300 watts. So let's give you a quick breakdown of what the different wattages are. A Sun 704B or a Fluval 406, they're going to run roughly around 50 to 70 watts. Okay, that's what it takes to run a filter. Your high wattage items are obviously your heater. Air pumps, yes. The 60 and the 100 are somewhere between 9 and 12 watts, so that's not a big draw on your power. So I really like that idea, Ron, of getting a large tote. Grab your original equipment, keep your cycle going too. You're not going to blow out your bacteria. Get the inverter and run it off the inverter. You could probably, just on that 300 inverter, you could run Oh gosh, probably 2 pumps and 2
Yep.
air things.
And I mean, they make them up to several thousand
Yeah, yeah,
watts,
yeah, yeah.
you know, and it's just so handy to have it in the car. I mean, I keep one in all my vehicles. Most of the new vehicles these days already have one. So, you know, if you're going through a power outage, you can run an extension cord from your car into the house from the inverter. You
Yeah.
can run it from a 12-volt battery. You could take a small lawnmower battery. They're like $30, and put a small charger on it. And in emergency situations, you can use that. Or, you know, if you're going to go drive 4, 6, 8 hours, take that little battery. Hell, you can buy 2 6-volt lantern batteries and just hook them up in parallel and get 12 volts. And you can already use the equipment you have. If you know you're going to move, you know, in like say a month in advance, you know, run a couple sponge filters in the tank. That way, when you do move, you can put those in there as well. But that's much cheaper at the end of the day than a good battery powered air pump is going to run you 20, 25, $30.
Yeah, yeah. So,
Um,
quick recap before we start on the other one. So, basically, what everybody needs to know about moving fish in water and the reason for the air stones is that oxygen is used really, really quickly with fish. That's why he wants you to keep the amount of fish in the bucket, depending on size, down and all that. So, you have all these kind of, you know, if you're going forward, close or far away. Appreciate this talk. This is awesome. It's moving on. So what's the next part? Is it, you know, how about when we're buying fish from other people and we have to go pick them up? Which, you know.
So, you know, you may have people in your area, or like in Dave's case, you know, some people drive 2, 3 hours to come see him to get these fish that he's rehoming. You know, I have people almost on a daily basis that come to get fish from me here at my place. Contact this private seller and ask them if they have bags or oxygen, uh, or what the preferred method is. You know, most of the time they're going to say no, they don't have bags and oxygen. So ask them, you know, how am I getting the fish? You know, have you starved them for a day? Stuff like that. So just, if I was you, I would prepare to bring everything that you need to move the fish. Um, so if you're moving less, you know, if you're moving the fish less than 4 hours, which is normally what a private seller type transaction will be, then you can just use buckets or bags. You don't even really, it's not a necessity to have an air pump if you're moving 4 hours or less and you don't have that many fish in a bucket. I've done it quite a few times before. Just ask the person that you're buying the fish from not to feed them that day before you come. And you can put a little bit more fish in the bucket than normal, but err on the side of caution. Use an air stone and air pump minimally. It's a nice to have. Something I want to touch on too is if you are making a long trip, I forgot to mention this. If you are making a long trip, more than 8 hours, you have to remember that every time that you stop for gas or a pee break or you're going to eat or something like that, you need to open up these tight fitting lids and let fresh oxygen come into the water. Just like if you lost power at the house, all you really need to do is stir up the top of the tank and you can get, you know, fresh air into the tank. So remember that, please. Uh, um, Next topic we're going to move into is the equipment. I know it sounds like it would kind of need to be in the beginning, but no, I put it here for a reason. So this is important. This is the stuff that would be good to have on hand. First and foremost, you're going to need storage totes or 5-gallon buckets, uh, plastic bags, any type of device that can hold water and keep it from spilling all over the place. The good thing about totes and buckets, they have good flat bottoms, so you don't really have to worry about them tipping over as much. Even if you do use bags, still put those in a tote or something just in case the fish pops the bag, doesn't leak all over your car. Or if any of you guys have those styrofoam coolers that you got fish for me and you could reuse them. You gotta take your beer and ice out of them and you can reuse those.
Yeah.
So first and foremost is aeration. The fish need air. As I said, inverter with air pump, air stones, sponge filters, small power heads, 2 to 300 gallon per hour power head does a real good job. A lot of power heads out there have an option for you to hook an airline hose to it. You can actually have the power head in a bucket, and then you can have the airline hose going out, and you can be drawing fresh air into the tank that way, into the bucket or the tote, and you won't need to keep opening the lid for that. Don't go too big. They're in a confined space. Don't put your 800 gallon per hour power head in there. You're gonna toss them around
Like a blender.
It's like, woo!
Yeah, you're gonna want to cut some holes in the top too of your lids, particularly on buckets. If you're
just
traveling.
drill some holes. Just drill some 1/4 inch holes in there. Let that old air get out and then new air come in. 5-gallon buckets at Home Depot Lowe's are, I think they're like $3. I think the lid's $1. I like the Lowe's ones because they're nice dark blue. But something we're going to touch on a lot tonight, and the phrase tonight is #FishLivesMatter. By the way, I'm going to mention this a few times, and not enough people respect that the fish's life is just as important as most of your other pets. So in your local sporting goods department, you can find devices already made for this. There's pumps that go into a bucket that hook to a battery. There are water pumps that oxygenate the water. There's also battery powered air pumps. They're in that same department. There's also 12-volt bilge pumps. That's what you put on the bottom of a boat so it pumps the water out so you don't sink. They run off of 12 volts as well. You can easily use a small battery to run one of those.
Mm-hmm. Real quick, because I'm getting an excessive amount, not excessive, I shouldn't say that, a large amount of messages via the FishTalk live page. I see the notifications. We don't monitor that. So if you're watching the show, if you want to communicate with us, use the live chat right there in the show. So anyway.
There you go. Yep, I see everybody's #FishLivesMatter.
Yeah.
Something that's commonly overlooked that you need when you move fish or you're picking up fish from someone is nets, towels, and maybe oxygen. Bring some towels, bring some nets. You're probably going to spill some water, so bring some crappy towels with you. You need them. I also, no matter where I go I rehome fish for people all the time. Someone calls me, I got these fish, I can't keep them, I'm moving, blah, blah, blah. I go to the local sporting goods store, and I get a pretty good sized net, about the size of a basketball with a wooden handle on them. They're like $10. I saw off the handle about 30 inches, and I use that net. So the chances are, wherever you're going to pick up fish from a private person that's, let's say, rehoming their fish, all they have is small nets, and it's going to take forever to catch those fish. Having a bigger net will help you a lot, especially if you're trying to catch fish out of your tank as well. I believe everybody should have one of them around the house. They last a long time, and they're only like $10. Just cut off the handle and sand off the end to where it's only maybe 24 inches long. And trust me, you'll thank me for that. And anybody who's been to my house has seen, Dave, you've seen the nets I use.
Yeah.
Those nets are what they think they're 36 inches square. I'm not lying to you guys. I use big nets to catch my fish.
Yeah.
Definitely bring some towels, bring a net, contact the person that you are getting the fish from. Make sure if they're going to put them in a bag or anything for you, make sure they don't do that up until the last hour or so before you're going to show up. Less time the fish are in bags and buckets, the better. So that's basically most of the topics for transporting fish. Just get equipment, or at the end of the day, just like you reiterated, Dave, that inverter is going to be way cheaper and way more useful for a lot of other applications. Let's just say you want to dry your hair in the car with a hair dryer. You can plug it right in.
Yeah.
It's worth its weight in gold for the price.
So-
I think you can get the small ones for like $30.
Yeah, absolutely. On Amazon, 15, 20, 25 bucks for the small ones. A couple other things that I would like to add to all that, it was an awesome topic, is to bring some safe with you. So bring your bottle of safe with you. That way, if you have a bucket that flips over or something like that while you're driving, you can quickly, boom, go right into Publix or Piggly Wiggly, pick yourself up some water real fast, go to the gas station. You can fill those buckets back up. That. Yeah. Yep. So have some Prime and Safe with you.
Safe for Prime, maybe even some Stress Coat. I kept telling myself to say that, but I kept forgetting. But also remember that Safe and Prime will also help detoxify ammonia and nitrite.
Yeah.
So when that starts to build up in that bucket, add some Safe for Prime, and that will help detoxify it while they're being transported. So I'm glad you reminded to that up there.
And another one of the things that you could do as well is ask for a little bit, bring an extra bucket. So count out. So you're going to have 5 fish per bucket. You're getting 10 fish. Okay. Bring 3 buckets and ask for another 5 gallons of tank water. Anybody that's got
take that bucket of tank water out of the tank before you start catching the fish, so it doesn't stir it up.
Yeah.
But by all means, bring a spare bucket or 2 with a tight fitting lid and get extra water.
Yeah. Just in case.
I've gone to fish meets and swaps, and the fish have been in a bag for like 2 days. The water's dingy and it smells. And the first chance I've gotten is I stop at Publix or the grocery store, like you said, and got some spring water and giving them a water change in the back of the car in the parking lot, like changing a little kid's diaper in the parking lot. I'm like, oh, poor fish.
Yeah.
I've done that before. Something else that you may want to consider for you guys who got some ingenuity under your belt, you can go to a home improvement store and you can get a bottle of oxygen. It's red. The threads are reversed. It's not real easy to find an adapter that goes on, but if you look into beer brewery supplies, they have a little device that screws right. It's like 20 feet away. I should go get it, but it screws onto the top of the bottle and you put a little airline hose in there. Brewers use it with an air stone, I guess, to agitate the yeast or something to keep it oxygenated. You can use that. Now, it doesn't last forever, but that will allow you to either run an air stone if you don't have a pump or something, or I use it with bags to fill up oxygen when I'm on the road. Everybody thinks it's easy to go down and pick up a little portable oxygen tank that your grandpa uses, when he walks around. Those you have to have a card for them. You have to have a prescription from the doctor. They're actually not easy to get. For those of us who ship fish all the time, we have huge oxygen tanks that we buy at the welding yard. So I think they're 10 or 12 bucks at Home Depot, Lowe's, Home Improvement. It's a red bottle of oxygen, and it is pure oxygen. You just have to figure out how to get it out of there with some type of valve. You guys can message me. I can pull up the link somewhere, and I can help you guys with that. But yes, I do that as well.
So you're kind of going into a couple of things I was going to hopefully get you to talk about, and that is shipping. So I just want to say this as the guy who's not a breeder, who doesn't have a shop, right? So I'm going to say this, not all shipping across the country is equal. There are people that put not the right amount of water because they're worried about weight, because they want to get a cheaper rate sending fish. They don't use oxygen. They don't prep fish. There's really a lot.
Experience.
There's half the people that I've purchased fish from in the last 2 years have been subpar. Ron is an expert on it, and he's been doing it for so long. So tell us a little bit about, you don't have to teach us all your tricks and everything, but talk a little bit about what the process is for you breeders when you go ahead and, ship fish. And, I just think it's a good
question. I get this question a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
So we've talked about this before. Stress is the biggest killer of fish. And you just have to be in the fish's shoes for a minute, basically, and realize that it is very stressful. So, as many as you may know, it's very stressful for these fish to move from one location to the other. Sometimes they're just going 5 miles down the road. Sometimes they're going 4,000 miles. I mean, I ship fish Canada, Puerto Rico, Hawaii. We're talking 4,000 plus miles. These fish are in transit, and once again, fish lives matter. You need to be able to prepare the fish for transit to the best, not to the best of your ability, to the best of the tools that are out there. I mean, strive for the best. Most people aren't the best at anything. They're just really, 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 really good. I'm not the best at anything, but shipping, I'm pretty close. I've learned how to do it. So I want to go over a few things that are pretty important. I get this question asked a lot, and I don't waver on shipping. For me, my fish lives matter very, very, very much. There's many methods. I just got like 3 people today asking me my methods. You guys can see it on the website as well. The quicker you can get the fish moved from point A to point B, the better it is. Less stress on the fish. This time of the year, it is extremely hot. I got customers in California that are dealing with 106, 108 degrees. I got family in Minnesota. It's 95. So I don't care where you live. It's hot somewhere between me and Florida and wherever you live. And you can't put cool packs in a cooler. They won't last that long. And it's too much of a roller coaster. So this time of the year, there's nothing in the bags but water, oxygen. There's nothing in the styrofoam cooler. So the fish need to be prepared correctly for this journey. This involves the customer choosing the fastest method that you can afford. Listen, I'm not gonna fault anybody for being on a budget or being tight on money or whatever, but listen to me carefully. This is important. You don't buy $200 worth of fish and then want $20 shipping. You don't buy a $300,000 Lamborghini and then put regular gas in it because premium costs 30 cents a gallon more. This is what we're going to talk about. This is bothersome to me, that a lot of places cut corners on this. And it's fine because they'll just replace the fish, but the fish doesn't deserve that. Just imagine if you were going to ship your dog or your cat somewhere, you would want them to get there as fast as possible, and you'd want them to be happy. Fish lives matter.
Yeah. So, one of the things that I always liked from the very beginning is that you're passionate about shipping and taking care of fish and all that. What?
I don't cut corners with that. If my shipping costs don't meet your budget, then I'm not the guy you should get fish from. There it is. I mean, it's not arrogance. That's just, I love my fish. For any of you guys who have dealt with me, who've seen me, who've met me, who've talked with me, who've seen my fish, that's what sets me apart. I care about my fish. I really don't want them to die. I very, very, very rarely lose a fish in shipping. I'm probably the best there is for the least amount of losses that there is. Sometimes it happens. None of us can do it. But there are things that you can do to make their journey better. So
to tell us a little bit about some details specifically, particularly since there's people that have never ordered fish online, period, or from you. Talking about a little bit
this
about
time of the
packaging.
year, because of the temperature, you really need to talk to who's supplying you the fish and ask them what their methods are, or really look at the website. I prefer this time of the year because of the heat, FedEx overnight or air cargo. These two methods cost more than postal service. But for any of y'all that don't know me, I will never ship a fish postal service, and I don't believe anybody should ship fish postal service. It's hot right now. If you ship overnight or Southwest Cargo, they're typically in transit 18 hours max. Some of my customers last week, I shipped to BWI and Long Island. They got fish 5 hours after I put them in a bag. 5 hours. And we're talking 2,000 miles away, and they had the fish for $65, Southwest Cargo. This time of the year, I also do 2-day shipping. 2-day shipping is done through FedEx. I do not use UPS. FedEx has proven itself to be a very good carrier. Larger the fish is, the bigger the bags that I put them in, the more oxygen, the quicker we need to get them there. So for any of you who haven't ordered fish online or haven't dealt with me, the process is you pick your fish on the shop. The shop, says, here are your choices: cargo, Delta Cargo, FedEx. The cheapest option you may have is FedEx Ground. But if you're spending a couple $100 in fish, put a little extra money into the shipping, and you'll appreciate it when you get the fish. They will be triple bagged. They will have plenty of air and water. They will be put into molded styrofoam boxes that don't leak. They're basically beer coolers. Labeled boxes that say live fish, so whoever's handling them knows what's inside, and hopefully they care a little bit more about it than kicking it around. You don't have to worry about that as much with FedEx or Cargo as you do the Postal Service. Understand that this time of the year, a lot of places are having storms. We just had the hurricane that went through pretty close to you. Dave was down in Louisiana.
Yeah, a couple hours away.
Postal Service, FedEx Ground, stuff like that, they are cheaper. And I do use FedEx Ground, and even sometimes UPS Ground, especially for our southeastern states. But with that, remember, it's low priority. Just like, you all that got fish food from me know I ship Postal Service because it's dried goods. It doesn't matter if it takes an extra few days to get there. If you have any weather, like storms or flooding or hurricanes, or if you have a holidays are horrible, or like now you've got Amazon, the Prime Days, so you know that there's going to be a ton of packages being shipped, Postal Service, FedEx, UPS. When there is an inundation of products that are being shipped, Postal Service and FedEx Ground, UPS Ground are low priority. So instead of them getting there in 2 or 3 days like normal, they may get there 5, 6, 7, 8 days later, sometimes 10 days. Especially if there's you got a bad storm in Tennessee. Tennessee is a big hub for FedEx. If they're hit with a hurricane, or not hurricane, but the tornadoes or bad weather, you can add a couple days onto when you get fish. I prefer air cargo whenever possible. Very quick, much cheaper. $65 covers up to 15 to 18 large fish. It's a flat rate. Pretty easy process, especially if you're close by. But once again, remember, these are live fish, people. This isn't dog food. This isn't cat food. This isn't your new earbuds coming from Amazon. These are fish. They need to get to where they gotta go quicker than what Postal Service and ground services usually do. I think I covered most of that. Also remember to give them the care that they deserve. I'm really gonna keep saying this. I'm sorry if it's almost tears in my eyes, because this is important. Treat the fish like they should be treated. Dave, you said this perfectly when you started. You got attached to your fish. Seeing them go hurts a little bit. It's like someone's taking your kitties. And I know the first thing you did before they even showed up is you reached out to me and said, hey, what should these people be bringing, with them? And, to take my fish, because you wanted to make sure that your fish got to their new home. You would think that you shouldn't care, but you do. And that's the good thing, is you cared enough about those fish leaving your house to make sure that You educated that person that was going to come get it. So by all means, for any of you who have not ordered online or haven't dabbled with, different places, talk to the seller, talk to a person like me, ask them, how do you pack fish? Show me how you pack fish. What service do you use? What options do I have? Ask if they use real oxygen. Ask to see what kind of packaging they use. Make sure that it's not just a cardboard box with some styrofoam peanuts around it, or a couple of your old pillows, or an old kid stuffed animal pushed on the side or something. Also, ask them, do you sedate fish before shipping? You don't want to deal with anyone that sedates fish. They usually do that if it's coming from overseas, but sedation on fish can really, really harm them. So any reputable seller will be happy to discuss their shipping protocol and their policies, because they are proud of it. If they won't discuss it with you, you should really strongly consider looking around, and ask for examples. That's something they will provide. They have to provide. So that's basically it for me tonight. The conclusion is, we talked about moving fish and what equipment you need when you move fish. Transporting fish if you're getting them from a private seller, or even if someone's coming to pick up fish from you, what to tell them to bring with them. And then also we touched on shipping fish. Shipping fish is an art form. It's not as easy as putting water in a Ziploc bag, putting a fish in there, tossing it in a flat rate shipping box, dropping it off at the postal service for $15 and hope it gets there alive. There's more to it than that.
I keep having this thing in my head when I hear you talking, is that, okay, imagine you being put inside and taped up inside of a refrigerator box. You're not going to want to poop for a couple days, because you're going to eat, so that you don't poop while you're in the box, right? You're going to want to have, it would be nice if there was some extra oxygen that was put in the box before you get shipped out. Yeah. Anyway, it's super awesome. I think I'd like to give you a break, Ron, on your throat and talking. So we're going to go ahead we're going to go ahead and take a break. I was kind of monitoring I
need to go get a drink. I'm more out.
Yeah. So we're going to take a break. Here's the call-in graphic, everybody, on this. We do want you to call in if you have any questions. There's a couple of numbers there. You can also type in the chat right now, *info, which is going to open up our chat bot. And there's one click. So if you're on mobile, you just go to follow it for call in and call in. We love when people call in. We're going to come back. We still have a big raffle, 3,000 member appreciation raffle for Ron Sickled's Clubhouse. We've got the chatbot giveaway going on tonight, and we're going to do some other cool stuff with that. So we'll be back here shortly.
Welcome, everybody, to Aquashella Day 1. This is without a doubt an experience. I've never been to a show like this. I walk around and into these different rooms and look at this artwork, taking pictures and videos of things that I've never seen in 30 years of being in the industry.
To see a show of this magnitude, bring the two together. Freshwater is often the segue to saltwater.
There are more corals here than other shows that we've been to.
All right, everybody.
This revolution of
Aquashella is coming to Chicago, September 29th. Pretty awesome little fish festival. I think that's a better way to put it. Just wanted to get that word out.
You have a choice. Right now, today. You can remain indifferent, or you can choose to act boldly, wisely, sustainably. What will you choose?
like to give a big shout out to the sponsor for the member giveaway, ADA Tank Supply. That's Mr. James Smith. Super awesome guy. Him and his business partner are out in Missouri. That's Jeffrey Kirk and James Smith. Thank you guys so much for the $75 first place prize on this giveaway.
My friends and I will talk like every other day, shaking the park where all the boys are riding skateboards. They look so hot, they look so cool. Everyone is around, and that's when I saw that someone knew that from around. You see on holiday, or will he stick around? He looks so hot, he looks so cool.
All right, everyone. So Ron loves his customers. We've got some testimonials. Hey, we're looking for people to do more testimonials. Basically, you shoot it and I'll make it look super awesome. Here's a great example of what that looks like.
Hey, what's up? I'm Callan Douglas. I'm from Rochester, Illinois. Try Ron Cichlids, you guys. His fish are awesome. They're big, beautiful, vibrant. I got a couple of them in here. Also, his food. His food is unreal. They devour it. They splash me for it. That's the only bad thing I can say about the food is I get wet every time I feed them almost. But 5 stars all around. Get a hold of Ron, roncichlids.com.
All right, everybody. So as you know, we've doing a 3,000 member giveaway for the Ron Cichlid Clubhouse. Now, Ron's got several niche groups as well, including the Buddha Hangout, the Ron Cichlid's Aqua DIY. There's the Tanganyikan Clubhouse. There's also a New World Cichlid Hangout, the Amazing Tank Showcase. These are awesome groups. Feel free to sign up. If you're already a member of Ron Demers Cichlid Clubhouse, you are automatically approved for all the other groups. So come and check us out and do that. I'm going to bring Ron back now, and we are going to take some questions here.
I got one question I do want to address that I saw like 4 or 5 times.
Well, feel free, bro.
One of the questions that's been asked quite a few times on here is how to properly acclimate the fish once you get them. Very great question. Thanks, guys, for asking that. Just so you all know, when you get fish from me, you get this sheet of paper with the fish. The sheet of paper says word for word, fish acclimation. These fish have been in transport via airplanes, trucks. They get jostled around during their journey, and it does cause some stress on the fish. Please follow these directions to help your fish safely adjust to their new home. Please turn off the lights before acclimating the new fish and leave the lights off for the first evening. They've been in a dark box for 1 to 2 days, and they need to adjust slowly to the light. You don't want to crank the light on like, somebody comes into your bedroom at 2 o'clock in the morning. The preferred method is to float the bags in your aquarium for 30 minutes to 1 hour. The larger the fish, 5 inches and up, I prefer to let them float for 1 hour. Cut the bag open, pour the fish into a net over a bucket, and then release the fish into the net. Discard the bag and the water. Do not use the water that they were shipped in. That is it. Plain and simple. There's a lot of methods. You heard the drip method, the cup, every 10 minutes. A lot of things work. But as soon as you open that bag, when the oxygen comes in contact with that the inside of the bag, you're gonna get an ammonia spike. That's the reason why as soon as you cut it open, you need to get the fish out. So it's much better for you to float them in the bag than it is for you to dump the water and the fish in a bucket and then drip acclimate. So I'm not saying the other methods don't work. I'm just saying this is the preferred method.
So I have not seen one single question fed to me, but we do have a caller, which is, actually thinking about it. we may want to put a call to action out there. Hey, do you want to get involved with Fish Talk Live? You'd like to help us out? We sure could use your help. We're looking for a chat moderator for the show that can be available on Wednesday evenings to do that. So there's that. Let's bring the first caller. This is a caller from 260 area code. I don't know where that is. Okay. Hello, caller. Tell us your name and where you are calling from.
Pammy Benya, and I'm calling from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Hey, Pammy, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Awesome.
I'm doing good. Thank you.
Looking good, Ron?
Thank you, ma'am.
My question is the blue chemical, when you ship your fish, what is that?
That is methylene blue. So I put methylene blue and stress coat in my bags, and another secret ingredient. That stress coat is to help, if they scuff their eye or something or get a little beat up in the bag from being overly rambunctious. Methylene blue is very, very dark blue. I dilute it. It is a general antibiotic, and it also helps make the oxygen easier for the fish to absorb, in the water. So just in case the fish, like I said, bumps his eye or something, or knocks a scale loose, like he's overly rambunctious in there, general antibiotic will basically nip it in the butt right away, and won't let it fester. And a stress coat will help him heal up. It's for me, it's a detrimental part of, I think every fish should be shipped that way. Absolutely.
Yes. Nice. That's what I was just wondering, because my friend, Alicia, she had got a couple fish from you. And we were just wondering if you put
most of the time,
in what
my
the
water's,
was.
I buy it by the gallon. I buy stress coat by the gallon. Methylene blue goes a long way because it comes as a concentrate. And for, let's say a cup of methylene blue, you can add 3 gallons of water to it to dilute it. I also, some of you guys that get fish from me, most of you, you'll see it has a light, the color will be a light green. There is another chemical that I use that is a even better general antibiotic that's they've been using for 60 or 70 years. It's kind of a trade secret, so I don't share that info.
Yeah.
But that's
fine.
Greenish color.
Nice. All right. Well, that's what we were just wondering.
Thank you for calling. I'm in a very loving, giving mood tonight. So private message me. Tell me what kind of fish food you want, and I'll send you a bag of food.
Oh, all right. Thanks.
Awesome.
Thanks,
You
Pammy.
guys have a great night.
Thanks for calling in, Pam.
Yep.
Take care.
You
So
too.
we have another question here. Thank you so much, Greg Case, for sending this to us. Jerry Colligan wants to know, do we ever give tips on building stands? We have not had a stand building show yet, but we could. There's a lot of great information. I was in the shipyard for 10 years, so I have some pretty good knowledge as far as, mechanical engineering and things like that.
Reach out to somebody who's done it before. It's there's so many different variables. I grew up, my dad is a general contractor for almost 50 years. I grew up with him. There's not much I can't do with my hands, building stuff, welding, you name it. Dave, believe it or not, which we never talk about, Dave has a lot of skill, woodworking and stuff. Building a stand's not hard. You just you overbuild it. Buy 2x6s, use screws, make sure everything is square, make sure all corners and all sides of the tank are being supported. It's
we certainly should
I don't know
have.
if we've got enough content. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say we certainly should have a show on that. So why don't we put that on the list? Also, there's a great group of people building stuff in the Aqua DIY. So it's the Ron Demers Aqua DIY group. So check that out. Thank you so much.
Examples to give you some ideas.
Yeah, thank you so much, Jerry, for that question. We have a couple of more callers, so I'm going to go ahead and bring a caller in here. What's going on, caller? Where are you? This is 912 area code. What's your name and where are you calling from?
This is Robert Cox. What's going on, Mr. Dave? What's going on, Ron?
Hey, Robert, how are you, my friend?
Man, I'm kind of upset, honestly. That's why I'm calling. It's a little off topic, but I mean, it got me wondering because it's the same fish over and over that I've done replaced, and it's the only one that keeps dying. And I had a lemon jake that was probably about he was full grown pretty much, and he was swimming around 1 minute, and then he was dead. Got a juvenile, and he was swimming around. Last time I seen him swimming around was probably this morning before I went to work, but he was kind of up top a little bit. Checked on him, he was dead. A while ago, I went to turn off my light, and somebody said something about maybe the heater was malfunctioning. But the heater's been cutting on and off, and he was swimming around just fine probably about 45 minutes ago to an hour. Looked over there, turned off the light, and now my bicker's dead. So, I mean, I honestly don't know what's going on, and the bicker was in a completely separate tank.
You know what the temperature of the tank was?
I do not have a thermometer on it, and honestly, I'm glad you just said that because that ain't even crossed my mind to check temp.
I mean, I just fried a tank full of fish the other day, and I know what I'm doing.
I'm sorry to laugh, but I mean, fried the tank. Yeah,
all of us. Yeah. As far as the lemon jakes go, jakes by nature can be one of those fish that you can go through 3, 4, 5, 6 of them, and you'll always lose them because when push comes to shove and there's a pissing match, they lose. They typically almost always lose. Lemon jakes, Lawandas, red, Eureka Reds and Otter Points typically have a little bit more of an attitude, but lemon jakes, you got to have one that's pretty big, and you got to make sure no one's bothering them.
I find that in my Mbuna tank that the other fish are more aggressive towards yellow fish, yellowish to red orange fish. Anyway, sorry to hear that, Robert. Totally sucks when fish die. I mean, it does.
You need to have digital thermometers in all your tanks. You need to know what the temperature is. You may not even need heaters this time of the year. It's most people. Whatever you set the house temperature for in your AC, the tank's only going to get about 4 or 5 degrees higher than that. So it's, you don't even need heaters most of the time this time of the year. So it could be several things, Robert. I mean, that's pretty general question you asked with no definitive. I can't give a definitive answer because there's so many variables.
Yeah, I was just trying to get like a roundabout idea because I'm lost. I'm being completely honest. I'm confused.
It could be aggression. It could be filtration. It could be 10 different things. Just check everything. Make sure everything's running the way it's supposed to be. There's no stray current in the tanks. Temperature, bullies, all that stuff. And
there's also. Aren't you local in Mobile, Robert?
No, I
he's in Georgia.
Oh, in Georgia.
Yeah,
Yeah. I find in the South that there's a spike in bacteria from municipal water companies and all of that, and that's why you get spikes in chlorine and all of that. One fish isn't necessarily going to die, but some fish are more susceptible to certain bacteria. The bottom line is that fish die, and it kind of sucks when it's the same one you keep trying to replace. Anyway, we can carry this conversation on with you again, Robert, in private chats or anything like that. If you need or have any more questions, please feel free to reach out to us.
That was just my main concern. I mean, it was off topic, but it was on my mind.
Yeah.
No, it's all right. There's never has to be on topic, my friend.
Yeah.
All right.
Thanks, Robert.
All right, thank you.
Okay, so I have another caller. This is 714. I don't know. 714 used to be San Diego. What's your name and where are you calling from, caller? You're on FishTalk Live.
Hi, it's Athena Athens.
Hi.
I did live in SoCal in Orange County, but I'm in lower upstate New York now.
Awesome.
Hello, how are you tonight?
Oh, I'm doing well. Thank you so much, Ron, for helping me.
I've seen you've had a roller coaster the last few days.
I'm super new to anything larger than a 20-gallon, and this is my first bout with cichlids.
So first thing I want first thing I want to get out of the way before you ask the question, and I wanted to say it online, but I just don't want to step on anybody's toes. But you get a lot of answers when you ask a question, and I could tell that you were getting a little flustered by all the different answers, and you care about the fish and you wanted what's best for them. So don't overthink everything. It just, the more you get frustrated or flustered, the more harm that you can cause, because you start changing things because you think you want to do something which is great for the fish. Like you had mentioned, they were flashing. It doesn't mean there's anything wrong. So being proactive is fine, but just throwing medications or just making big changes because you want to do what's best for the fish can actually cause more harm. I think we've talked about this before.
I'm totally clueless of what you guys are even talking about. So let's start from the top. Like
she
what
had
was the issue?
posted.
Yeah.
She had a 55-gallon tank. She had a lot of decorations. She had a fire mouth in with the Africans, and there was some chaos. She took out decorations of the tank, opened it up, and then she got some flashing, and she got a bunch of help about what could be the issue. Maybe there's not an issue. So
everyone's doing very well now. So
good. Everybody's been helping her out for the last couple of days, Dave.
And the fire mouse went back to the store. So my question was on the first, and this is great that you did the whole topic on moving. I'm moving actually to a bigger apartment because this 55-gallon is taking up a lot of space here in the studio. So I'm going downstairs to a 1-bedroom. But my question is, I have to obviously refill this tank up with non-cycled water. So what is the best way, since I'm going to have to move and take all the water out, to make sure that the cycle is okay for the fish?
So contrary to popular belief, it's a complete myth, but your bacteria doesn't live in your water column. Your bacteria lives, 99.9% of it lives in your filtration. Very little lives in your substrate. Very little is in the water. So you taking all of the water out and refilling it fresh from the tap with dechlorinator won't hurt anything.
Okay, great. Yeah, I was great.
Okay.
Thank you guys so much for all the help this week.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Have a good night.
You too.
Take care. Thanks for calling in. So we do have another caller here. This is 724 area code.
You froze up there. I can't.
Hey guys. Welcome to Fish Talk Live, area code 724. Who is this? Where are you calling from?
Yes, Missy Strait from Pennsylvania.
Hey.
Hey. I have questions for you about fish and how they grow.
Yeah, I'm not sure if Ron is still with us. Oh, yeah, there he is. You were froze up, too. Were you telling me I was froze up? Now
you were frozen from your end. I was frozen and you were good.
All right, let's do this real quick. So, welcome to Fish Talk Live. Appreciate you, Missy. What was your question? I think we're doing it.
Okay, I had fry, and they're from the same batch. And one of them is half the size of the other one. They've been in the same tank, eating the same food. Why would that be?
Yep. Called runts. They're called runts. It happens. They'll eventually catch up, and if they don't, then they're going to stay small. It's just like a litter of puppies or kittens. You'll get a runt. It happens. I breed and raise thousands of fish, and they all grow at different rates. 30 of them from one mama. I can have them all different sizes.
So it's completely normal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought maybe something was wrong with it.
Nope, it's completely normal. We just call them runts. They may catch up someday, or they may stay small.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you then.
Appreciate you calling in. Thank you. All right, so last caller we have here, and we're going to wrap this section up real quick. Callers from 407 area code. What's your name and where are you calling from? You're on Fish Talk Live.
Yes, I'm from Orlando, Florida. And my name is Brian.
Hey, Brian, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Good. Thank you. Can we help
Yeah,
you?
we're watching your. We're watching your show, and I'm with my 10-year-old, and he had a good question. He said that if you were wanting to go from being like a private seller to actually going legit, what would be the logistics in that?
That's a long-winded answer. You got to have a license from the state. You have to have a business license. You have to know what you're doing. There's a lot. It's not easy. You want to do it right. There's a lot of work involved.
Well, yeah, she's saying like if you've been doing it for a while as a private seller and you want to take that next step, he's like, what would you even do?
How to ship, where to ship, who to use. Stuff like that. So you need to find somebody who's willing to share their trade secrets and mentor you. There's no one good answer for any of it. You have to find someone who's willing to mentor you. But first and foremost, you need to get a business license, and you need a license from the state to sell fish.
Appreciate you.
Quick question on that. Is that pretty cheap or is that expensive? Just real quick.
Well, check it out. So fish, I'm trying to cut anything off here, but generally, this isn't necessarily the academy for breeding and fish business, but we certainly would like to help you. But this is more of a private conversation rather than going.
Reach out to me. I can kind of try to help, but you have to also understand that I can't. I've worked very hard for a lot of the knowledge that I have, and there's only so much of it that I can share willingly because I worked hard for that. So I don't mean that with any disrespect, but
oh no, sir.
But yeah, find somebody that can mentor you or ask some questions on forums. Most of the time, somebody you can get a little bit of information here and there and put it all together.
We appreciate y'all's information, and your show is great. Keep it up.
Awesome.
Thanks,
did you sign up for the giveaway, the 3,000 member giveaway?
Yes, sir. We are in it.
All right, so we're getting ready to do that. Thank you so much for calling, and we appreciate you.
My son was telling me to make sure I got home by 8 o'clock so that we would watch this show. So he's 10 years old. He loves all the information, especially he loved that puffer fish video.
Guys in Orlando,
great job.
You're 2 hours away, so you're more than welcome to make a drive down to Palm Beach and come visit.
Yeah. What's your son's name?
So we will take you up on that. What's that?
What's your son's name?
His name is Tristan.
Tristan.
Hey, Tristan. Shout out.
What's up, buddy? Big shout out to you. Thanks for watching Fish Talk Live. All right, so
hey, we appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, bro. We'll talk to you. Thank you.
Yes, sir.
All right, so it's time to give away some stuff. We have actually a bunch of stuff that we want to do, so we're just going to slam that into the back end of this show. We still got almost 70 people on. We are going to give away, there's the 3,000 member. Yeah.
Give some stuff away.
Yes. So we want to do this one right now. This one is really near and dear to Ron. Somehow or another, it just seemed to want to just stop there. I don't know what.
I'm gonna sneak in a few extra prizes too.
Are ya? You're gonna make this one better?
Yeah, I hope you guys are okay with me sneaking in a different second and third place, and then sliding second and third to fourth and fifth. So we're gonna have to try to fly through them pretty quick because I eat up all that production time of yours, Dave.
No, it's all good. It's all good. I want to bring up. I'm trying to figure this out on the back end. This should be up right now. So 211 people signed up for this raffle. We're going to give away the ADA Tank Supply $75 card. I'm trying to get it to show up, but it's not. There's that. And there's that.
So thank you for everybody who entered. The only thing is 3,000 members and 200 people signed up.
That's all.
Yeah. A lot of people. That's just upping y'all's odds. A lot of people didn't want nothing for free. So
yeah.
Everybody, those 211 people, shout out to the other 2,800 that didn't sign up because they helped your odds.
All right. So you got a pen ready, Ron, for this? Yeah. All right. So here is the names right here. There's 211. Like I said, we cut the time off at 4 p.m. Eastern time today. So these are all the people that did. The first one that we're going to do is going to be that first third place winner. So the third place winner for this, I push this little button that's behind my head. There we go. You see start, and that thing will start jamming around. Let me see if I can pull this up a little better. Hold on just a second, please. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
There we go. There it is. All right, so here's the third place winner. Write this one down, Ron. This is for the member appreciation. It's been growing really, really well. So that's Justin Stanashkru Petersik.
Oh, that's my buddy, and yeah, I know who.
Okay, so that's for the food. This next one's going to be for a T-shirt. I'm going to pick another winner. And the T-shirt for Ron Cichlids, this is the winner. Chicken dinner. Rick Maldonado. Congratulations, Rick Maldonado.
Congratulations, Rick. Congratulations, Justin, as well.
Yeah. So we are going to pick another name here, and this is going to be for a $75 gift certificate. Again, they've got a beautiful Arroyo Dragon Stone, Arroyo Stone, Soroya. I don't ever pronounce it correctly, but it's 88 Tank Supply. So you definitely check them out on their website. Here is the winner of a $75 gift certificate from 88 Tank Supply, and that is Athena Athens. Congratulations.
Congrats. Look at that.
So tell me what you want me to do with the list. You take over from here. I don't know what we haven't discussed this, so I'm not too sure.
Pull two more winners.
Okay, so here's one.
Do you want to do the spin to win, or you want to we'll just incorporate them all into one, or
no?
Actually, never mind. Let's just do this. I'm going to do a $25 gift card. So do a spin,
Okay.
Not a spin, but do a draw for that.
Okay, so this is for a $25 gift card from Ron Cichlids. And that winner is Randy Trimble. Let's pick someone else because I actually know this person and she's not going to be buying something from Ron. So, okay. Only because we're moving. Okay, we're moving. Okay. So $25 gift card from Ron. Here we go. Jar Moreno. Yeah.
Congrats.
Moreno. The $25 gift card.
He just got some fish delivered today. Now he can get some more.
Yeah.
And then one more. Let's do a $10 gift card.
Okay, so here's the next one, and we're still gonna do spin to win, people.
Yep.
I'm
just in the giving mood tonight, guys.
This is the member appreciation. Zach Taylor's got a $10 gift card as well. All right, so congratulations. There's 5 winners. We've got
everybody.
Yeah, we've got at least 2 more winners coming up, and that one is here. So, and you notice there's some new music. All I can say is, yeah, whatever, Mark Zuckerberg.
Mark Zuckerberg.
Whatever, Mark Zuckerberg. Anyhow, this is our spin to win wheel. What we do is we ask for you to put a hashtag into the chat, and we let that run for a little while. We also have a secret hashtag from our info chatbot. So here I'm going to play this music, and the hashtag is going to be Fish Uber. Fish Uber. You can see it there in the lower part there. Fish Uber. Hashtag, which is a pound symbol. Fish Uber. Put this into the chat right now, and we will draw people's names for the spin to win on that. Fish Uber. Get it? Fish transportation, Fish Uber? Okay, you got it. Fish Uber. Put it into the chat right now. Hashtag Fish Uber. Or Fisuber, however you pronounce it. That's Fish Uber. Fish Uber. Whatever, Mark Zuckerberg. You and your $40 billion.
Mark Zuckerberg.
I'd like to meet the guy at least. I'd like to be his pool boy.
That could go a couple different ways. I'm not even going to get into that.
It's not going your way, Ron. I'll just tell you that. Okay, everybody, it's hashtag FishUber. I'm going to close this one down real quick. And we're going to get ready to spin the wheel. All right, so let me bring this up. Let me logging in to our special secret gaming software. All right, here we go, everybody. So here's our super special secret gaming software that allows us to pick super awesome prizes and get you to spin the wheel. All right, so here it is, FishTalk Live. You see it right there, episode number 38. God, I can't believe it's 38 episodes already. Mm-hmm. All right, so here's our search criteria. Usually what I do is we do it like that, and whatever pops up first, we do not use that one. It's called clearing and flushing the system, getting it primed and ready to go, ski. So, yeah, there we go. Okay. Just clear that one person. Okay, so now I can pick a hashtag. The first one I'm doing is this one. Take a look at this. I believe that's it. Yeah, that's it right there. It's hashtag no plastic ocean. Okay, that has to do with our chatbot giveaway. That was sent. So if you want to get into these ones where you want to get the secret giveaway, the secret giveaway is when you opt into our chatbot. So star info, if you send a message that way, you can do this. So here's our winner for the chatbot giveaway. Who's going to spin? You'll be the first spinner. And that winner is... Patrick Whittington. Congratulations, Patrick. You're going to be the first spinner, but I'm also...
Congratulations.
Yeah. So I'm also going to pull up the hashtag FishUber. Just got to make sure it's too small.
Make sure that they're on or no?
Yeah, I need to... Yeah, both of those people have to be on right now. So Lori Venker. How long ago was it that Lori won? Can you tell me, please? Do you know? Have it written.
Within the last month. I don't know. I'd have to. I can look. I keep spreadsheets of everything.
Yeah, that's why we work well together, because I don't.
She won on episode 34.
35, 36, 37, 38. She's actually the winner today.
All right. Winner, chicken dinner.
Congratulations, Lori Venker. Are you there? We want to know that you're there. Any of our moderators, please push me a private message because I can't read the chat on this iPad right now. I'm having eye issues right now. So, Mr. Patrick Whittington and Lori Venker. During that time, we're going to show the member video of the week. This week, Mr. Kevin Shannon has sent us a beautiful picture of his tank. Why don't you do a little commentary for us on that, Ron?
Kevin's a good friend of mine. He lives local and has the luxury to come pick fish. He's got some beautiful fish in there. Most of them are mine. You got an Insignis there, a VC10, beautiful deep water hap, Rostratus, Tetrastigma, some Phenicillus, OB Red Empresses. He's got a Severum in there, one of my yellow blazes. He's got the one and only Medoko White Lips that I've ever sold. He's that important. He's that close to me. Some beautiful red shoulders.
That Borealis really nice.
Rostratus keeps photo bombing. He's a stud, man. Beautiful living stone eye in there. Just an amazing tank. for you guys who don't know Kevin, check out the Aqua DIY. This guy, brilliant man. He tinkers a lot with DIY stuff, reactors, algae scrubbers, anoxic filters. He's always pushing the envelopes of what you can do with a freshwater tank. Thank you, Kevin, for sending that in, and you've been a great friend of mine. I appreciate you.
All right, so let's get on with this. Let's get back to what we've got going on. We have got confirmation that Lori's here. Of course she's here.
She's always here.
Yeah.
She's my girl.
Lori and Joe. The other person that we haven't heard from is Patrick Whittington. Mr. Patrick Whittington, you've got exactly 15 seconds.
He's here.
Okay.
He's here.
All right, so Patrick is the first one on the chatbot giveaway, and the No Plastic Ocean. We have a new support, and we're supporting 4ocean.com. Please use star info right now. Access that. Go to our sponsors page. Go to their website. You saw a little middle part with about 4Ocean. It's a passion of mine, a deep passion. My other show, CBD Live, is also all about cleaning the ocean, and I know Ron has that as well. So that's what that's all about. Let's go ahead and show you guys what this super awesome wheel looks like. And here it is. There we go. You can see my green screen fell off, so there's this weird little thing. A green screen fell down. Anyway, yeah. All right, so Patrick, congratulations on being this first winner. You do have the opportunity to win fish on this spin. Be a large fish right from Ron Cichlid. You just go on, you pick it out, and you win that fish. Give me the colors and numbers.
Let's go with orange, 11 o'clock. Bring it over to 4 o'clock.
All right, so he's saying this orange one, he wants it right about there. So here it is. Congratulations, you are a winner. And we'll tell you what you won. Oh,
a
drum.
New car.
Where's the drum roll? We'll get the drum roll for Lori.
Seacam.
Yep, you want a 2-pack of Seacam Purigen. So what you need to do is you need to go to FishTalk Live in the menu for the messenger menu. It will say, did you win? It will be prize winners, claim the prize. Go through that process. It's going to ask for your address. Do it line by line. So the first one's your street, and then it's going to say apartment, and you say no or yes, then you say city, and do all of that. You have to like both the Fish Talk Live page and Ron Cichlid's page to claim a prize from us, but we appreciate you. Let's go ahead and pick one for Lori now. And this one, I want to make sure this drum roll. There's the drum roll. Sorry we didn't get it for you on Patrick. I'm going to pick the color. I'm going to pick red at 7. You tell me where to put it, Ron.
Put it at 5. Bring it all the way around.
There it is at 5. It's for you, Lori Venker. Congratulations.
It's a new car.
She just won a fish, bro.
Nice.
There you go.
Congrats.
Yeah,
that's the big prize there.
Super congrats. That's the big one. I think it was the drum roll that did it.
Must have been the magic drum roll.
So I want to see you light up the chat, Lori. I want to hear about it. You're a big winner tonight on the thing. We love you, and Joe, super glad. I always like seeing your tanks and the pictures that he takes of you.
Great husband-wife team. They're always on. They're always there. They do this hobby together. It's just amazing to see that passion they both have for it.
Yeah, absolutely. So as many of you know, we're going to wrap up the show now. Ron talked about transporting fish. The idea here is that fish consume oxygen and also deliver waste. So you want good quality water. You want to be able to affect that water, whether it's an air stone, put holes in your thing. Watch the episode again if you missed anything. Super great episode. I'm going to give Ron the last call out. Just remember that after the credits, We do roll a little short video every single time. We call it our secret show. So if you stick around, that'll be on there. I appreciate you. I love Fish Talk Live. I love you, Ron. I love the community. I love the clubhouse. I appreciate everybody being on. So I will sign off and let you have the final.
I love you too, brother. It's glad to see that our energy is back. I've been kind of down and out for the last month and a half with what's going on health wise, but I'm back, guys. I'm feeling good tonight. I'm happy. I got a big smile on my face. I love you guys. Thank you all for your interaction on the pages. Thank you for helping us get to 3,000 members. I love all of you guys, and remember, fish lives matter.
Absolutely.
The ocean is full of all kinds of fish, and some of them get pretty darn big. But have you ever wondered how they might look as babies? Well, hold on to your hat, cause these youngins are as cute as a button. That is, of course, after they pass through a couple preliminary stages like egg and larval forms. But once metamorphosis completes, the fish are considered juveniles and transform into adorable little miniatures. It's here they acquire the last characteristics of their adult form, such as the growth of scales, final coloration changes, and complete ossification of the skeleton. We call them fingerlings because, well, they're about the size of a finger at the onset. As they continue to grow, they become less vulnerable to predators, and once reaching sexual maturation, they are finally considered adults and can legally do whatever the hell they want. Once again, thanks for tuning in, and giddy up.